The Return of Tarzan by Edgar Rice Burroughs. Recording by William Martin. Chapter 1. The Affair on the Liner. "Magnifica!" ejaculated the Countess de Coude beneath her breath. "Eh?" questioned the Count, turning toward his young wife. "What is it that is magnificent?" And the Count bent his eyes in various directions in quest of the object of her admiration. "Oh, nothing at all, my dear," replied the Countess, a slight flush momentarily coloring her already pink cheek. "I was but recalling with admiration those stupendous skyscrapers, as they call them, of New York." And the fair Countess settled herself more comfortably in her steamer chair, and resumed the magazine which nothing at all had caused her to let fall upon her lap. Her husband again buried himself in his book, but not without a mild wonderment that 3 days out from New York his Countess should suddenly have realized an admiration for the very building she had but recently characterized as horrid. Presently the Count put down his book. "It is very tiresome, Olga," he said. "I think that I shall hunt up some others who may be equally bored, and see if we cannot find enough for a game of cards." "You are not very gallant, my husband," replied the young woman, smiling. "But as I am equally bored, I can forgive you. Go and play at your tiresome old cards, then, if you will." When he had gone, she let her eyes wander slyly to the figure of a tall young man stretched lazily in a chair not far distant. "Magnifica!" she breathed once more. The Countess Olga de Coude was 20, her husband 40. She was a very faithful and loyal wife, but as she had had nothing whatever to do with the selection of a husband, it is not at all unlikely that she was not wildly and passionately in love with the one that fate and her titled Russian father had selected for her. However, simply because she was surprised into a tiny exclamation of approval at sight of a splendid young stranger, it must not be inferred therefrom that her thoughts were in any way disloyal to her spouse. She merely admired as she might have admired a particularly fine specimen of any species. Furthermore, the young man was unquestionably good to look at. As her furtive glance rested upon his profile, he rose to leave the deck. The Countess de Coude beckoned to a passing steward. "Who is that gentleman?" she asked. "He is booked, madam, as Monsieur Tarzan of Africa," replied the steward. Rather a large estate, thought the girl, but now her interest was still further aroused. As Tarzan walked slowly toward the smoking-room, he came unexpectedly upon two men whispering excitedly.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?